Hello, I'm Frank McSheen with Square Peg Consulting at the Whiteboard. I'm a supply chain cash guide, and these are the components of the business-to-business supply chain as I see it. And there are opportunities to generate more cash in every part of this process. Let me show you what I mean. Hello. Today we're going to talk about an important element of the people and teams portion of our supply chain framework that deals with execution. If we've got the right customers identified, the right products that are going to generate the most cash, we've got good processes in place, we need people to be able to execute on that and deliver that increased cash contribution. Within those group of people, there are some leadership roles, starting at the first line supervisor, next level department manager, up to plant manager, warehouse manager, distribution, transportation manager. All those kinds of roles have some common behavior requirements that we've discovered over the years. And they kind of all fit under the theme of what I call the benevolent drill sergeant. So it's a person who is setting very clear expectations, high levels of goals, but also is engaging the team and working with the team and their counterparts across the supply chain in order to deliver on our cash contribution expectations. Let's take a little bit more of a look at the specifics. There's a tool I work with called the Predictive Index, and it helps my clients identify what are the real behavior requirements of a role. It also then helps assess individuals to see how well they do or don't fit that role. In the case of the benevolent drill sergeant, what we're looking for here is someone that has a degree of independence and ability to make decisions, size up situations, solve problems, or lead teams in solving problems, etc. But there's also a level of collaboration that's required. So this is one of the dimensions in the predictive index is along this scheme here. So we're going to aim a little higher on the independent side, but still a level of collaboration, particularly with other departments. You're part of a process, so you got to have a good deal of collaboration going as well. On the next dimension is around this benevolent piece. So we need people who have some natural people skills, willingness to listen, but there's also a pretty good requirement for analytical skills, thinking through things, dealing with numbers, understanding processes, technical aspects of the work. So this one is a real balance between the two. Most people will come with on one side or the other of that, so you may have to help them adjust to their off side. In the supply chain, there's a tremendous amount of need for proactivity. So this one is pretty heavily weighted towards the proactive side as opposed to the responsive, which is responding to triggers from the outside. You want those leadership roles always looking ahead, anticipating problems, looking to see what's going to happen next. How's the upstream working? How's the downstream working? What can I do to improve the flow of product and services in my area? And then lastly, there's a good bit of requirement for structure. We've got a plan in place. We've got processes to execute. Things have already been decided what to do. There's specs to meet, quality standards, time, delivery, deadlines, etc. And so you want somebody who's really focused in on executing that structure, making sure everybody else understands it. They're good at explaining the structure so people understand what the expectations are, and they're oriented towards those details enough without being micromanagers, but enough to really understand how are we progressing, what adjustments do we need to make, and doing those in a proactive manner so we get ahead of the challenge. Also, another aspect of benevolent drill sergeant is the evaluation of people, just like drill sergeants do in the military. They're obviously charged with evaluating people, who's going to make it, who's not going to make it, and making some of those decisions as quickly as possible. So particularly in those first line supervisor and department level managers, they've got to be always looking and evaluating their people quickly and making decisions about who's going to make it or has potential to move on to other roles, and who is not really a good fit, and make those decisions early on so we don't end up spending a lot of time trying to force fit people into roles that they don't fit. Thank you.